I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But being this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off, you gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya? Punk.
That's right. We watched Dirty Harry this week on The Movie Gap, the podcast that has you scream.
How have you not seen that? 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 Little darling, how have you not seen this?
Welcome to this week's episode of The Movie Gap. I am your host, Chase Austin, and as always, the ex-military crazy guy with a peace sign belt killing kids and others to my left this week, Bryce Perkins.
What's up, y'all? I feel like I'm always to your left. Also, you totally said we watched Duty Harold, and that's fucking hilarious.
Did I? I thought I said Dirty Harry.
Oh, no, you said Duty Harry.
Duty Harry? Oh, I could have sworn.
That's what it sounded like to me anyway.
Well, I always call this movie Dirty Harold.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do I call it that? And then I realized it's from Borat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Dirty Harold.
I'm like, Dirty Harold.
Yeah.
Die, Jew. Quoting the movie.
The worst Borat impression.
Why? My wife.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good Borat.
It's okay. It's okay.
My wife.
I'll give it to you. I do Spanish Borat. Mi esposa. That's what I do.
Yeah.
The Spanish translation, the Spanish overdub.
All right. Yeah. So,
Okay.
welcome to this week's episode. We're doing a new thing here where I'm going to tell you right now, make sure that you are following us on Twitter, following us on Instagram, following us on Facebook, all at The Movie Gap. Do not forget to go to our YouTube channel, especially if you're already there. Go ahead and hit subscribe. And any of the podcast apps that you use to listen to podcasts and stuff, go ahead and subscribe there. Rate and review us all over the map. That would help us out immensely. And, leave some comments everywhere and let us know what you think. And, any thoughts you have on the movies, any thoughts you have about the show is greatly appreciated. And, maybe you'll hear your name pulled up on the show, at least your handle.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. So that bit of business. Oh yeah, we got new stickers.
I went ahead and took the initiative to order us some new stickers. Chase had nothing to do with this, as usual. Yeah. And I don't know if you can see them there. They're die cast, baby. They're
die cut.
Die cut.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Because I ordered them. I was testing him. He passed.
Yeah, so thank the people at Sticker Mule for that great deal. And if you go into our Twitter feed and scroll down a little bit, you'll see I posted a link where you can get $10 off yourself. So
also, buy our stickers somehow.
Yeah,
we'll find out a way for you to do that.
Get in contact with us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and we'll let you know how you can do that. We'll let you know, not Will. Will has nothing to do with that fucking asshole. But somebody that does have something to do with that is Mark at Mobsolete on Twitter and Instagram. He is the genius behind the design and the artwork on these stickers. So thanks to him. He's my brother-in-law. Nepotism.
That's right. And then, of course, we'd be remiss not to thank AP Stark for his work day in and day out doing the
all of
digital artwork for us.
Yeah, all the other
episode. Artwork. And also I am proud to say, a co-worker of mine. Okay.
Oh, that's right. You'll both.
Yeah, it's strange.
My wife was trying to take credit for you.
Mi esposa.
My wife was trying to take credit for you getting that job earlier this week. She was like, it was like a year ago that I told him that I got him that job. And I was like, how did you get him that job?
Yeah.
You're like,
Don't mention anything about what I do.
Yeah, he was like, he was looking for the. And I was like, well, you should apply here.
Yeah,
because I did.
That's true. That's a good point.
I was like, well, you didn't get him that job.
Well, she
pointed you in that direction.
She did. Yeah,
I feel like Stark would have had more. He pull in actually getting
had
you a
more
job.
pull in the actual specifics of it.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank him for that
right.
as well. And if you're wondering what we do, we're international hitmen. So that being said, you introduced the episode as Duty Harry, and that is tonight's top story.
I'm pretty sure I said Dirty Harry.
That was my favorite fucking shit that he has ever done on this podcast. Yeah. That's right. We watched Duty Harry, the movie gap.
I think it's just because of my weird dialect that comes from nowhere.
Yeah,
I do quite often.
Yeah.
Nobody.
How does that Borat go again?
My wife.
So good, dude. So good.
I don't know what it sounds like, but it's definitely a different impression. I think it's like a bad Christopher Walken is what it is.
Yeah, maybe. It sounds like Christopher Walken doing Drago doing Borat.
It just sounds like me yelling.
Yeah,
what it does
true.
sound like.
That's true.
Which, guess what? Most of my impressions are.
Okay, yeah, fair. Do an impression of who's someone that's really quiet.
Harrison Ford. We've famously.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Penitent man. Penitent man.
No one is topping my impression of him in the Air Force One episode.
Dusty old fart. Wizards.
No.
Hoodoo.
No.
I think he is an incredible actor, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Planes.
Yeah, my daughter. Where's my daughter?
Where? Get off my
plane. It's terrifying. I love it.
Yeah, he is terrifying.
All right, well, he's not in this movie, so
no, he's not.
Let's.
Probably one of his idols is.
Yeah, probably.
Imagine.
Yeah. Super.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
Idol.
I mean, they're
kind of
not
that far in age.
Yeah, but they're not contemporaries either.
Right.
I mean, they both
like
acted
half generation or something.
I feel like they've been in a movie together, and I can't pull it. No, they both played Jack Ryan, though. Wasn't Clear and Present Danger Jack Ryan?
Jack Ryan. Isn't that Jim Krasinski?
It is now.
John Krasinski?
It was also Matt Damon or Ben Affleck in Sum of All Fears.
And then Matt Damon was Jason.
Hunt for Red October. Harrison Ford wasn't in Hunt for Red October. That was Alec Baldwin playing Jack Ryan in that one. But Harrison Ford was Jack Ryan.
I had no idea the Jack Ryan reach was this.
Not to be confused with Jack Reacher,
which is where I was going to go with that. So
famously played by Tom Cruise in the film Jack Reach Around.
Yep. Yeah. I remember that one. And then Tom Cruise's brother, Tom Hanks, played a guy that dies of AIDS in Philadelphia, a movie I just fucking learned Chase has never seen.
I've never seen that.
So be on the lookout for that one. And he also said Denzel's overrated. What? And he has the gall to fucking question me on my fucking thoughts on movies and shit. This fucking guy doesn't like Denzel. What?
I didn't say I didn't like him.
Well, Denzel watches every fucking week and listens every week.
I know. He's going to be very upset.
So he's not going to be happy to hear this. And he's going to make you remember the Titans.
He's going to build some fences around the podcast.
Pretty soon is going to be training day for you. Build some fences? What's that?
Fences, the movie.
Oh. He's going to radio you.
Nope, not him. Deja vu. Bryce got something wrong. Deja vu.
Wow. It's like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a shame. But you will love
not everybody can be a man on fire.
That's right. That is Denzel. Yeah. I haven't seen that.
See, I'm still throwing him out there.
Yeah, you're right.
Like a robot. I'm a regular Manchurian Candidate.
Is he in that?
No, I'm just saying.
I thought that was Christian Slater, some shit. I thought, who the fuck is it? Is he the Manchurian Candidate?
No, Lev Shriver is. Is that who you think?
Lev Shriver?
Yeah, Lev. I thought it was Lev.
Lev Shriver. Leib?
Lev. Leiv.
Leiv.
Isn't it Lev?
Leave.
He's the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
He was pretty good in The Omen, too, as the senator.
No, he was was in The Omen, the remake.
Yeah.
Not The Omen 2.
You sly dog, you. Doesn't get any better than that. That's as good as it gets. That's a movie that I haven't seen. Also starring someone that's in that episode next week.
Excuse me. Let's get into it.
We can play associations all day, baby.
Yeah. So, Bryce.
What's up, bitch?
How have you been? I guess we didn't really get into that.
No, we haven't. I've been doing good. No crazy schemes for my steamy memes and all that stuff. Just, I woke up late today.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's about it. That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then let's get right into this movie, since you've clearly got nothing else going on.
Nope. That's it.
All right. Dirty Harry, 1971. Cornerstone of Clint Eastwood's oeuvre, as I like to say. What did you know about this movie going in, and why is it one that was in your movie gap? You get it, guys? Now you get it. That's why it's called that.
Since the inception of the podcast. So you've enlightened nobody with that.
See, it looks like the old Blockbuster symbol. That's what that.
Oh, I get that one.
Movies, yeah.
I get that one. Yeah. So I did. I knew that Clint Eastwood was in it. I knew the famous line. How lucky do you feel? We'll do you, punk. That whole thing that we opened the episode with. And I knew he had a big gun. That's about it, though. I didn't know anything about the bad guy. I didn't know that fucking Poppy was in it.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
He had a real name.
Yeah, what was his name?
Well, in the movie, it was Chico.
Chico, right.
His real name is hard for me to say. I think it's Rennie? R-E-N-I, Rennie?
Right.
Or Renai?
We'll go with that.
Anyway, Santoni.
Renus Santori.
Poppy himself didn't wash his hands. Got his hands right in the dough.
That's right.
It's a pizza the second you put your fist in the dough.
Yeah.
God,
it's one of the best episodes ever.
They all are, though. Every time I watch one, I'm like, oh, this is such a good one.
Exactly. I know. There's no escaping the Feld. I saw the sign, right? That's what that song is about. Did you know that?
No.
It was about the first time Ace of Base saw Seinfeld.
Now that is actually a great parody song. Would be
it is
about I saw the sign. It's just somebody who became obsessed with Seinfeld after seeing it.
Oh yeah.
Or just like every verse is just like about a chance meeting with Seinfeld. Like one time it's like them shooting an episode, another time it's like him walking in New York, and another time it's like him driving with Seth Rogen doing comedians in cars.
Right,
never interacts with Seinfeld.
Right.
I saw the sign.
I saw the sign. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Good stuff right there. I'll work on that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have something
because of all your parodies that you do.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm a big parody artist.
He hates original music.
Yeah.
Or doing it.
I would never take time to create an original piece of music. Why do that when there's so much out there already? That's what I say. But anyway, be on the lookout for my solo album. But also, actually, speaking of solo albums, let me shout out Clint, my boy Clint Rader from Jody. With me back in the day, has released officially his album by now, and it will have been out for about a month or so.
Yeah.
Streaming everywhere, and it is fantastic. It's called Dinar Appel. The artist's name is Dinar Appel. The album is Clean Tones. It's It's got artwork by Bobby Sue Schindler. Check it out. It's amazing. It's the greatest album I've ever... I got lots of friends that say, hey, this is the best album I've ever heard in my life. It wasn't very good. But watch the album. Watch it. Go watch it. Yeah, go stream it.
I've listened to it. It's great.
Did you check it out?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I also checked out that last...
it's vintage Clint.
Yeah, and I checked out the last Jody Seabody, too. I really like that, too.
The Hawks A Million one? Oh, the EP.
The EP,
Yeah, the EP. Yeah, go stream that as well. That's me and Clint and Dave, who you saw in a few weeks back in the episode. That's the three of us. So go check that out. So that's more plugs.
All right, so why did you not see this?
So yeah, I never saw this one just because I don't know. It wasn't really. I mean, I guess maybe it was on TNT every now and then, but I don't know.
I mean, it hasn't really...
I didn't pay attention when I was a kid, and it wasn't really like everywhere.
I don't feel like this one really pops up ever, like just on.
I feel like I mostly know about this movie because of Jim Carrey doing Clint Eastwood, impersonations in The Mask and in his stand-up. And he does the "Do you feel lucky" punk line in The Mask, and so I knew about that as a kid.
Yeah. Jim Carrey's first film role was in The Deadpool, which is not only a Clint Eastwood film, but it's the last Dirty Harry film.
Jim Carrey was in a Dirty Harry movie?
Yeah, 1988, the last one.
Dirty Carrey?
No, The Deadpool.
Right, but, you know,
he was
Carrey.
He was a musician.
It was wordplay.
Who gets killed.
By the punk gun? Does he call him a punk?
No.
Oh.
Dirty Harry is investigating a serial killer who is killing people on there's a bookie that's taking bets on a dead pool.
Yeah.
Which is like when people, like famous people, you bet on when they're going to die.
Yeah.
And if you get it like right or like what order or like who the next one is. So there's a person betting on it and then killing that person.
Mm.
And like in that list. So it's in Dirty Harold has to figure it out.
And then of course, well, Jim Carrey was
the fifth one.
Was in that sequel to Dirty Harry, and then our hometown boy P. Swayze was in the original sequel to Dirty Harry, Dirty Dancing.
No.
Right, as we all know.
I mean, yes, he was.
The OG sequel to Dirty Harry, Dirty Dancing. Took a little bit of a left turn on the sequel there. Mm-hmm. Really don't see the connection to the first one.
Just the word dirty.
But you got the word, you're a sequel, baby. You know? And that's all I got on that.
All right.
So,
well, let's get into this movie.
Okay. Sounds good to me, dude.
What do you got?
Well, first of all, this movie is so old.
How old is it?
This movie's so old.
You should do. Oh, you don't have that button.
Well, which one?
The hack moment.
Oh, yeah. That's one I'm missing.
Yeah. I'm missing it too. It didn't work on this app.
This movie's so old. Give my wife. My wife's old too. Hey.
Anyway,
classic.
So old.
Dangerfield. The fucking WB logo is like ancient.
Yeah.
That was crazy. It took me back so much so that I wrote it down as a note. So that's something you have to look forward to if you should watch it after you watch it.
49 years old? Is that? No. 59 years old.
71?
Wait, 49.
Yeah.
49.
71. Yeah. Whatever that is. Okay. And then so... actually, something I did know about this movie, because I watched the movie Zodiac on a whim one night with Ash. In that movie, there's a scene where the detectives who are on the Zodiac killer case go to see Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
When it first came out, and they drew inspiration for the bad guy from the Zodiac killer. Yep. It's set in San Francisco.
Zodiac to Scorpio.
Right. Yeah. Does the notes, leaves the notes, do this, or I'm going to kill this many people, and all that.
And then they had that little bit of it in the newspaper where it was like,
right. Yeah, exactly.
In the classifieds, it told them,
Exactly. So that was kind of neat to be able to like see the movie that was inspired by real life events like that and have that connection to that. Must have been such an ego boost for the real Zodiac killer to fucking see that, dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of sick to think about. I don't think I can talk about this movie anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You know
thanks
who-
for listening.
It's just like Ted Cruz just sitting there being like, that movie is about me.
Tom Cruise's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Senator Ted Cruz. Wait, what movie would Ted Cruz be watching?
Dirty Harry.
Oh, because he's a Zodiac killer.
Because he's the
Forgot.
Zodiac killer.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
All right, nice. I forgot about that
I know.
running joke on
Yeah.
the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. So I knew that about the movie, but I didn't know anything else. So seeing that right off the bat, the Zodiac thing, I was like, oh shit, that's right. It's a nice memory of that. Oh, now I know what this movie's going to be about.
Yeah. Okay.
That kind of thing. And then let's just talk some Eastwood, baby. I think this is our first Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, we were talking about
movie.
that right
I think
before we started, and
he
I don't think
finally,
yeah, he's finally made it. He's finally made it.
he's finally hit the big time.
Yeah. Him and
You know,
Poppy.
Him and Poppy, yeah. Well, although Poppy's kind of made the big time. We talk about Seinfeld all the time, but
I don't think we've talked about him in a movie though.
no, that is true. So yeah, Clint Eastwood is finally movie gap canon. That's let's 3 cheers for him.
Yeah, and it's he's been on the list. This movie and many others have been on the list since
For
the inception of it.
Inception, yeah.
But we just never got around to it until now.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. Speaking of Inception, I've never seen that.
Really? Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
got to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
Got to do that.
Yep.
Especially with Tenet eventually coming out.
Yeah. One
Who
of
knows
these
when?
days.
Who knows when?
Yeah.
But yeah, so talk about Clint Eastwood. What movies have you seen of Clint Eastwood's?
Only, honestly, if I'm really thinking about it, the only full-on movie that I've seen of Clint Eastwood's was that one that he just put out where he's racist and shit.
You mean the one that he put out 12 years ago?
No. The one that came out 2 years ago where he's super old. Not Gran Torino.
Okay.
He's even more racist than the one where he's the drug runner.
Oh, Mule.
Mule. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Mule. And it's not that good.
Yeah, it
It's
looked like it was going to
very
be a lot better.
Slow. Yeah. It's not good.
But,
but
what movies of his have you seen that he's directed?
none, dude. I haven't seen Mystic. If I think about it, I haven't seen Mystic River. I haven't seen $1 Million Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen. What were you gonna say? Heartbreaker.
I was going to say Heartbreak Ridge, but I don't know if he directed that.
Right. I haven't seen Gran Torino. I haven't seen any of the fucking Man with No Names, but he didn't direct those, of course. But I haven't seen even the
He did
classic
direct,
ones. I haven't seen.
some old westerns, but
Yeah.
So you haven't seen any of those. You haven't seen obviously any of the Dirty Harrys,
Right. Except for now.
Yeah. You've seen Jedgar though. I always make fun.
No, I haven't. Is he in that?
No, he directed it.
That's the one with Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I have heard the song Clint Eastwood by Gorillaz, though.
What about
That's
the
a
song
fucking
Dirty
banger.
Harry by Gorillaz?
I have as well. Yes. That was the follow-up on Demon Days,
Mhm.
one of the greatest albums ever
Inspired
recorded.
by this movie.
I think there's a loose connection.
I mean, the
There.
title.
I think there's a loose connection.
Yeah.
I think it was more inspired by the sequel Dirty Dancing. But he didn't want to infringe on the copyright. So he did Dirty Harry, not Damon Albarn I'm speaking about. He chose the title Dirty Harry, not realizing that's a movie too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Oops. But I have heard Clint Eastwood. You know that one.
Yeah.
Fucking shit bangs, dude. Man, that shit came out in fucking 2000. We were fucking in 6th grade, fool. And when that shit hit the radio,
Not we.
you were in 7th grade. But fucking when that shit hit, you kids have
2000, I would have been in
you guys
ninth
have
grade.
no idea.
No, I was
Fucking
in
crazy
eighth grade.
ass. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
You kids have no idea how fucking that shit was so fucking fresh, dude.
It was
so
it was
fresh.
that and then Twin Towers right after it.
The Twin Tower.
2001. That's when
right.
it happened. That's when it happened, Bryce. Never forget.
It is. I don't understand the affiliation you're making. I think
You said 2000.
I think you're sick.
I hear 2000. You know what I remember? 2001.
Because
I'll never forget.
Yeah, I got you. Paul McCartney wrote a song about that. Freedom! Talking about freedom!
No, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, he fucking did.
I'm
It is a
pretty
terrible
sure
song. It is
that
a
was Mel
horrible
Gibson.
song. It was inspired by Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay. Inspired by.
Yeah.
Loosely based.
Loosely based
Loosely
on
based.
Mel Gibson. I'm sure Mel... No, I'm not going to do that. Anyway,
All right, we really got to start talking about
yeah,
this.
we got to... So, Clint Eastwood, though. What are your thoughts on Clint Eastwood?
Fucking
How much
so
have
cool.
You, how much have you seen of Clint Eastwood?
I mean, I've seen pretty much everything. You know,
What? Really?
Not. I think. I don't think I've seen. I have not seen the Dirty Harry that he does with Tyne Daly, which I think is the third or
Who's
fourth
that?
one.
Tyne Daly?
She's an actress. She's an older actress at this point. I've not. I've seen Deadpool, and I've seen. I can't remember if I've seen Magnum Force or The Enforcer. Yeah,
Right.
so I know I've seen one of those.
Yeah.
And then I've seen the Deadpool. I've seen all of his Sergio Leone stuff, all the Man with No Name trilogy. I've seen Unforgiven. I've seen
Unforgiven,
Space Cowboys. I've seen all the stuff he's directed.
Yeah, older Eastwood.
Even A Perfect World with
What's Unforgiven?
fan favorite
Which one
Kevin
is that
Costner. It's like a modern day Western one. It was in the 90s. I think it was one of his first
familiar.
like big directorial ones. Heartbreak Ridge, I think that's what it's called. Is another one that I've seen. I mean, it's Clint Eastwood. I've seen it all.
Really? So
pretty much.
Would you consider yourself a Clint Eastwood fan?
Yeah, I love Clint Eastwood. He's fucking great. In fact, I
Are
just
you a fan
watched
of his
one.
directing?
I just watched another one that he directed, Bridges of Madison County. Didn't care for it that much. It's supposed to be a romance, and it's just about adultery. Like, it's just 100% 4 days of adultery, but
That's
she's a woman, so it's okay.
When was it? When was it made?
Early 90s. Early to mid 90s.
Yeah, that's that 90s romance.
Yeah.
Adultery.
I was like, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
He's fantastic in it, and of course Meryl Streep is unbelievable in it.
Oh, she's in it.
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, it's basically the two of them. Like that's almost
they're
all it
banging?
is. Yeah.
Do you think?
It's a great movie. I did find it a great movie, but I was like, this is romance, honey.
Right.
My wife was like,
Honey.
this is such a great romance. I was like, not for the husband.
So wait, it was Streep and Eastwood banging the whole time?
Yeah. Well, not the whole time. It was,
But just a lot
it's
of
a
them-
female romance, so it's not all banging.
Oh yes, of course. So there's whips.
Yeah, there's
and
like
there's
you know,
gag
wooing.
balls and there's ties and bonds in it. There's got to be pain.
Yeah, that's exactly what
You know,
it is.
like what's that one? The 50 Shades.
50 Shades of Grey.
Gray.
50 Shades of Grey's Anatomy.
50 Portmanteau. The Fresh Maker.
50 Shades of Grey's Anatomy, Me, Myself, and Irene.
Ooh. Irene. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I tried, though.
Yep. All right.
I really tried.
So anyway, yeah, I love Clint Eastwood, and this movie, I had not seen this movie since I was
Irene, so
probably-
far away.
probably around
I did it.
2000, 2001 is when I did see this movie, and
This movie?
yeah,
For the first time?
for the first time.
So you were a
I was like
teenager.
yeah, like 8th grade,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
You
8th
had
grade,
just started
9th grade.
growing a little.
Well, yeah, it would have probably been 7th or 8th grade that I first saw this movie.
So you get your first hair
this was
down
one of the
there,
ones
and then you're
that
thinking
like
guns are cool.
this is one that I remember my dad showing me when we first got satellite. Once we
Gotcha.
got like TV channels and stuff.
Gotcha.
And excuse me. I remember, I remembered liking it a lot. I remember thinking it was cool, but like watching it now, I was like, God, he's so cool. Like he's a badass. And his fucking like little jabs and his one line, like it, and he's so quiet and he doesn't like go like really rip into people or anything. Like,
he's quiet about it.
Yeah, and it's always just one
He's
thing. And it's
calm,
like
cool.
and everything he says is just like fuck. Like
He's calm,
hurts.
cool. He's
Yeah.
calm, cool. It's what Harrison Ford was trying to be in Air Force One.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And pulled off.
but dude, his fucking face
Is intense.
is iconic. Fool.
Yeah.
Like, so I would like. What do you know of Clint Eastwood's words? Clint Eastwood's journey. In the business, coming up and trying to make it. Because didn't he have to? He had to go to Italy just to make some spaghetti westerns for anyone to give him a true shot at movies. Right?
That's
Which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, he was he wasn't really. First of all, he's really, really, really fucking tall for Hollywood, especially.
Oh, he's actually that tall?
Yeah.
That's not just camera.
No, he's
angles
tall.
and shit?
He's like 6'4", I want to say. I'm gonna look that
Okay.
up. But
so he couldn't necessarily dunk on Jordan, but maybe he could, do an alley oop or something.
Yeah,
Like
he's
pass
6'4".
the ball.
He's 6'4".
Okay.
So
he can cover Muggsy Bogues.
In Hollywood, that's really tall. It's not not as much now. Like actors are a little bit taller than they used to be, but especially back in the 70s and stuff, like 5'10" was tall. And one of the reasons is you want to keep them
Don't
around
say that
the
to
same.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you want to say them around you want to keep people the same height, women and men, because it makes it easier to shoot.
Gotcha.
If you got a 6'4" guy and a 5'2"
Then you gotta
woman,
go wide angle.
Once you do an over the shoulder of the guy,
it's hard to do a
it looks like
close-up
it looks like the girl's
yeah.
like this big. So
Right.
anyway, so there's all sorts of reasons, and like that's why bigger heads are better and all that kind of stuff. So
Wait, whoa.
having
Is that a thing?
Having a big head is
Oh, then you should do
a
fine.
benefit, yeah.
Why don't you just go over
and a
there?
big ass head. Yeah.
That's
why I don't wear-
could have been in Game
Yeah.
of Thrones just because of this. They would have just put you in there.
And that's why I don't wear ball caps, because when if I wear any baseball cap,
Yeah.
it looks like I got it with 2 scoops of ice cream. Just fucking. I look. They
Small as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just it looks like a tiny. You look like a monkey with a tiny hat on.
Yeah.
You look like a poo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not a poo. The monkey in Aladdin.
that was a poo.
Yeah, a poo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
poo?
So
I poo. You poo. We all poo.
we all poo for ice poo. Now let's move on from that because
Yeah.
that was terrible.
Anyway, yeah. So Clint Eastwood was having. I don't know if it was trouble, but he wasn't really being taken seriously as an actor, and
which
he wanted
is
to.
Isn't that insane to think about?
Yeah, and he wanted to learn how to make film and do film himself. He wanted to do it all
Yeah.
because he's a. I don't know if perfectionist is necessarily the term, but control freak maybe. I don't know about perfectionist because he's very famous for one take. Like he likes to
he's
make sure it's
kinda
going to be
Ed
right.
Wood.
Yeah, he likes to make sure it's going to be right, and then he does it. And he's like, "All right, it's good."
So he's an Ed Wood fan.
Yeah. In fact, he directed one of the scenes in this movie. He directed the scene with the jumper. Him and the jumper.
The jumper. Oh, he
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, and it was
That was my favorite scene.
one of the reasons he directed it is because it was too hard to get that many people up there.
Uh-huh.
So it was him, the actor, and then sound and
Oh,
lights.
I see.
And,
And
sound
the director
camera.
was afraid of heights.
Yeah, and so they were just like, well, just have you just direct it, So he did it, and
okay.
it was. I think they had 2 days set aside to shoot that scene, and he did it in like one night.
Huh.
So he's a real fast director, but he's
But he does it good. He makes sure it's right.
yeah. I mean, depending on who you talk to, nobody. I mean, for the most part, people don't really shit on Clint Eastwood because who's got the balls to do that? I mean, yeah, he's an old man now, but still.
I mean, I don't know. Isn't that a whole, because of the character he plays, everyone thinks, oh, I can't talk shit about Clint Eastwood. He really is Dirty Harry.
No, I mean, yeah.
That's
I'm sure he's
let's
a
not be like that.
sweet guy, but
Did you see the interview with Barbara Walters that he did back in the 70s or the late 70s or early 80s? And he was basically just hitting on her the whole time.
I believe it.
He was asking her to have dinner with him.
Yeah.
No,
I don't remember that.
I just saw a clip of that at one point in my life, and I just remembered it. So I was just wondering if you saw it. Interesting. Apparently, he's a bit of a ladies' man.
Yeah. Which, I get it.
I get it too. He looks, dude. Okay, holy shit, fool! This whole movie. All right, I don't know if you're gonna You might want to Google this and pull this up for reference here.
Okay.
But the whole movie, dude, this guy looks so much like Scott Weiland, the lead singer of the Stone Temple Pilots. It's fucking unreal, dude. They have like the same hairline, the same fucking eyes, the same shape of head. And like the whole...
Oh, yeah, I see
dude, the whole movie, I'm watching it going...
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching Scott Weiland do, like, this is Scott Weiland. This isn't
Scott
Clint
Weiland's
Eastwood. Or Clint Eastwood is the lead singer of the Stone Temple Pilots.
No, Scott Weiland is a bit smaller.
He's smaller. He's more slight of frame.
Yeah.
But dude, like, not younger Scott Weiland. It's got to be like later Scott Weiland, like especially like Velvet Revolver Scott Weiland.
Look at this picture. I thought that was a young Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. It's fucking nuts,
that's crazy,
dude. So that's just something that's neat.
Yeah.
Anybody go check that out if you want to. But I've always thought that. And R.I.P. to Scott Weiland. Yeah. Very sad. Speaking of the one-liners you were talking about, the one where he was talking. Oh, who the guy that played the mayor? What the fuck have I seen him in? I did look up his name. I forgot it.
John Vernon. Animal House.
No,
he's the dean in Animal House.
He's the dean in Animal House?
Yeah, dean.
Oh, he must have cut his hair.
Dean Vernon Wormer. But he's also in Outlaw Josie Wales, which I'm sure you haven't seen. That's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Wasn't it Brad Pitt in that?
No.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of...
Jesse... Jesse Pinkman.
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Very different movie.
By the coward Robert Redford.
Yeah. He's also... this guy, John Vernon... let me see what else you would have seen him in. Probably... it's probably... what do you call it?
A bunch of shit.
It's probably... Animal House is what you know him from.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you haven't seen,
or maybe like one of those other movies, one of those other like.
If you were into 60s and 70s television, he was on every TV show.
That's not it.
Yeah, but he was also in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But I don't think you're into campy horror films.
We're gonna do that for Halloween episode.
Probably one time, at some point.
But no, I haven't seen that movie. So okay. That one line when he's talking to the mayor and he's like, shooting a guy who's gonna rape a woman, I'm not gonna feel bad about that or whatever. And he's like, how do you know he's gonna rape a woman? He's like, don't get me wrong, but if you see a guy running with a butcher knife and a hard on, I don't think he's trying to greet her or whatever he said. I don't think he's trying to ask her out for tea or some shit. Whatever. It was just like that was from the fucking get-go, and you're like, oh, this is going to be one of those movies. Yeah. All right, now, so here's the thing about that. In the pantheon of those movies, is this kind of the one, that started that shit with the one-liners and the cool badass?
Okay, yeah, that. It started several things. It's also what a lot of action hero stuff was based around, the not necessarily renegade, but kind of renegade cop.
Right.
The one-liners. Yeah. For instance, there is an actor who we know and love here on the Movie Gap who this is his favorite movie and what made him want to get into acting and is what he has modeled his entire career over.
Wait, let me
specifically the one-liners.
Let me guess. Who the fuck would that be? So this is a person now or whatever that we've done a lot of movies of.
Yeah, so somebody that got famous more or less in the 80s.
In the 80s, and he's known for one-liners.
Action movies, one-liners.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
No.
Hold on. I get two more guesses.
Okay.
There's it's the rule of three.
At this point, there should be two people that you could think of.
Keanu?
Absolutely not.
Tom Cruise?
No.
Fuck.
Way off.
Way off.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they ever get to do a movie together? Were they in the Untouchables or whatever that movie is?
No, they were not in that together.
That would have been the ultimate cameo if Clint Eastwood showed up.
Yeah, I don't think he was definitely not in.
But he'd have to wheelchair in, because he's old.
Yeah.
Get it? Well, let's talk about the most iconic. We'll finish your Arnold Schwarzenegger thing.
that was it. That he's, the one-liners and that's what he wanted to do. That he saw this, he's like, that's the movies I want to do.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
So he sees "Do You Feel Lucky?" Will do you, punk, and then he gets to do "Hasta la vista, baby." That's fucking tight, dude.
Yeah.
Good for Arnold, man. Arnold is awesome. But anyway, so let's talk about that most iconic of lines, okay? And the way that this movie did it, because I was surprised. Okay, all right, play that sound clip you have. And I want everyone to take a listen to this. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen it.
Yeah, and I think this is from
the first time he says it.
Yeah, because you can hear the sirens.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Okay. When that happened like 20 minutes in, 10 minutes in, and I was like, oh, wow. Oh, they get right to it with the iconic line. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, whoa, he's going too fast. Like, what's going on here? There's no drama here. And then he says it like that, and he's like, well, do you, punk? And he says it real fast, and I was like, oh, that was bullshit. I was pissed. I was like, that was totally fucking anticlimactic,
Well,
but
it's not climactic at that point.
Boy, was I in for a surprise.
Yeah.
Because the way that they set it up for an epic callback like that was so effective and so fucking awesome. And it made it, not only does he do it the iconic way at the end, and it's the last thing he fucking says, but it has even more drama to it because you heard the line before. And so when he starts going on it, I know what you're thinking. You're like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And then, oh man, it's such a payoff, dude.
See,
it's one of the best payoff moments
a cool
in any action movie I've seen.
I 100% agree, and I'm surprised that you... Like, I'm always surprised at what you do and don't like as far as, cinematic moments. Because sometimes you're like...
I'm an enigma.
Yeah, because sometimes you're like, that's so stupid. It's like so movie. Like, there's nothing more movie than that, but it's so cool.
Movie dumb. That's what I'm like.
Look at the cool jets.
What did I say? Was it?
This is what you kept saying in...
Look at
the cool jets.
I forgot about that. The cool jets.
The cool jets.
Oh, cool jets, Dad. Dad, look at the jets. Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. He takes his time more on that second one.
Oh man, give him an Oscar.
In the rewrite,
but for real,
when this script was rewritten by Dean Reisner to after Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel came on, Don being the director, Clint being Harry, they hired him to do it, and the first rewrite was the end of that bank robbing scene with that iconic line. However, the writer had, when he turns around to him, because he's like, I gotta know.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he points the gun at him, and it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
In the script, he points it at his temple, his own temple, and pulls the trigger.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, but Eastwood...
He's crazy,
yeah,
man.
And Eastwood said, no, that he's not that unhinged. Like, he doesn't have a suicide thing. Whereas, we did Lethal Weapon. That's a very Mel Gibson character thing to do.
Yeah.
Because
he did do that.
Yeah, and he did do it.
Yeah.
So.
It's a very Mel Gibson in real life thing to do.
Yeah, because, Dirty Harry is not, I don't find him to be necessarily extreme or, he is, emotionally
He's just
charged.
A hard ass.
Yeah, and he is emotionally charged in some of the cases. The whole thing, this whole movie is, a pretty right wing film in as far as it's one of those victim rights.
Well, it's like what do you say? How do you say it? To make the comparisons to Death Proof.
Yeah.
Came out. No, damn it, I did.
You did it too. Death Wish.
Wish.
I do it all the time, and I don't know why.
Which we discussed on Scott White's podcast. You can check that out.
It's called the Burt Reynolds and Charles Bronson podcast. Check it out. Bryce and I were guests, and we talked about the movie Death Wish, which is a Charles Bronson classic.
Right.
You had never seen it.
That's correct.
And then we went on and we talked about that. It's a great one. So check that out wherever you get podcasts.
Right. But it was one of those movies that was a response to, and what we talked about, how New York in the 70s was a very scary and kind of lawless place run by the mob, and there was no real order. There was a lot of crime, but very little order, okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot of crime, there's very little order, okay? That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good, Trump.
Sure.
And so I started doing my hands like this, and I can't. But anyway, this movie is also one of those, and one of the first ones, I guess, that is probably one of those reactions to New York in the 70s. But the reaction to it is this vigilante, renegade cop is going to be the answer to all the seedy, hopelessness that's going on in New York.
Yeah, and
right
I
now.
believe
and New York is almost like a character itself.
Well, and this is San Francisco.
Oh, they are in San Francisco.
I believe that it was written for New York, actually, and they changed it to San Francisco for one of the reasons of they like that contrast of like the beautiful city, but with this nasty shit going on.
Right.
And
it was in real life happening.
This fucking movie is beautifully shot.
It was. I noticed that when I was watching it, I was like, hey, San Francisco, could you, not have a beautiful day for once, or what? Because I just want to be there now.
Yeah, this movie and then Vertigo, really show a lot of great shots of San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And when I was watching this, I kept thinking about Vertigo too.
Yeah,
which we did.
But that's black and white.
It is not.
It's not.
No, it is not. It's color.
It's the Hitchcock one, right?
It is Hitchcock. Okay. Yes. Yeah. But this, and there's just so many great, sweeping shots of San Francisco is gorgeous,
right?
And then there's somebody getting shot,
right?
And another, the another part of this movie that I really love. We were talking about deep focus before we started today, and one of the things is when he's in the diner where that bank robbery is going on across the street, he passes the car and then that's idling in front of the bank, and he goes in and he goes, hey, is that car still?
Yeah.
And you see the guy behind the counter, you see Clint Eastwood, you see everyone in the counter, you could see through the window, you could see everyone on the street, and you can see all the way across the street to the bank, and it's all in complete focus where you could see all the detail.
Right.
That's deep focus. That's what that's called.
Oh.
So that's such a cool long shot.
Right.
That you could see through all of the with great composition, and
it was a shot invented by Orson Welles, as we were talking about.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, it was really for real.
The use of deep focus had not
been a thing
because they didn't know how to do it.
Right.
They invented ways to do it.
But Orson was like, "Watch this."
Yeah, him and his
however he fucking sounds.
Him and his the cinematographer and DP on that. So But yeah, so that shot is so cool, and watching him walk across the street to get to the guy, it was just fucking pop.
Oh, okay, dude. So that was another thing. So reckless, but again, this was the beginning of those types of movies, right? So
and he got the guy.
I could see it being super cool back then.
Yeah,
and just there's civilians everywhere.
And they don't get hit, but they almost do.
Right.
By that car.
It looked reckless enough for me to be concerned for the extras in the movie.
And even the collateral damage, the bank's insured.
Right.
The city is not. We don't need to.
Right.
But man, he gets his guy,
He gets his guy.
And
his guy
the only other thing was they were making him a little too aloof by having him chew on that one bite of hot dog for 45 minutes, the whole gun scene, and it kept showing back up to his face,
it was
and he was just
gum.
Still chewing. Swallow, swallow.
It was his hot dog gum.
Swallow, you lanky bitch.
You never heard of hot dog gum? It's the newest flavor. It's all the craze back then. So let's talk about the fact that Dirty Harry's a little bit of a fucking perv, dude. There were so many scenes of him
caught looking
either happening upon women pulling their titties out in the windows, and him just being like, well, might as well watch, or well, it was mostly just that, and then he would just do.
It was
that.
always just like, well.
he even said, you know, you deserve your chance to relax, Harry, or whatever.
in the middle of a stakeout.
Yeah, he vocally rationalizes being a peeping Tom, and it's like, and I understand back then it was probably seen as comical, and I suppose, I mean, I don't know, but now you watch and you're like, oh, you perv, you know what I mean? Like,
he wasn't actively looking for it.
It was just funny that they put that in there.
Yeah, I mean, especially the one with the
except for maybe they needed some tits and ass.
The group sex one or the menage a trois one is like, why is this
right? It was like, this is like
San Francisco, man.
I guess they were. I mean, you know, you could say, oh well, it's the moment of relief before, you know, the ultimate, you know.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a comedic,
right?
A comedic relief, as well as, you know, getting some boobies in a movie.
Right, which I suppose that maybe they just thought, well,
it's got to be gritty, it's hard, violence, sex.
Tits.
I mean, and there's no actual sex in this movie.
Right, but I was surprised by that aspect of the movie.
Were you surprised that his wife died?
Not at all.
Yeah, his wife had died in a senseless victim accident. Yeah.
Right. One of those. But see, that's the thing. This is one of those things that kind of creates the tropes. He did the whole when Poppy first got introduced, Chico, I should say.
Yeah.
First got introduced, he did the whole like, I ain't got time for you, rookie. You know,
which guess
you're
what?
just gonna weigh me down, rookie.
That's a through plot through all the rest of the Harry movies.
I imagine. Does Chico come back, or was that the only one?
No, that's the only one with him, I believe.
So he did end up retiring.
Because Tyne Daly ends up being, once they start letting women on the force, right? Teamed up with her,
right? Let me guess. He said some sexist shit too. He was like, "It's like the day they let you broads join is the day all of us died," or some shit, right? He probably said some shit like that.
Yeah, probably. And then at the end, he's like, "She's tougher than any man."
Yeah. And by the end of it, he's like, "I'm sorry for making fun of you for having periods. I should have respected you more. Lesson learned." And then it turns into like a Family Matters episode. But anyway, like
ovaries over me's.
What?
I don't know.
No, I got nothing. So lots of the tropes, but forgivable because, you know, it was the first time.
Yeah, well, they become
what
tropes.
Are they gonna do?
Yeah. They're not tropes yet. They're tropes after. Yeah,
they become tropes because they're so fucking cool and it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as far as like the shooting of the movie, very gritty. Now let's talk about the bad guy.
Yeah, that's
Scorpio,
the killer.
What's his name in real life?
His name is
like
Andrew Robinson.
Andrew Robinson.
Yeah.
What the fuck else is he in? Because he did great.
Yeah,
did he not?
Actually, I mean, yes, he did do great. He was found by Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood had seen him in a play.
Yeah,
and was like, "This guy's got it." Like,
oh wow!
This is
really?
like, because the whole character has to be super fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And just he's got that weird face, and he could do a lot with it.
Right.
And those blue eyes, you know.
Yeah. And then he's very good at like being mean.
Yeah, and
there's nothing redeeming about him.
He, the real actor, had issues with that too, like how
he didn't want to be.
He's like
a
real
kids.
sweet guy.
Yeah.
So he had trouble with that. The kid he grabs and runs away with is actually his son.
Oh,
it was
wow!
His son or his nephew?
There's got to be some daddy issues.
Yeah, it was somebody
right
there. But he, he had issues with like just a lot of the stuff that he had to say, and especially when the black guy was beating him up. And like he like kept apologizing after the guy's like, it's a job,
right?
Like, your character's saying that, not you,
right?
But like it really did affect him,
right?
But he is
that's good to know.
Fantastic.
That's he does so great, especially when he gets caught in the football field.
Yeah.
And he's like just kind of like wailing, you know. It was just, it was
and like calling
out
level.
It was a level of performance I wasn't expecting from a movie from this period of time. You know, it was there was like a modern aspect to it with like how hard he goes. You know,
well, and even watching it this time, I was telling you earlier, I was like, man, I don't remember it being so short. Because I remember,
even though it feels like it's 3 hours long. Because it's in the 70s.
I'm talking about at that point in the football field. Like I was like,
right,
this is where it ends. I forgot it was this short.
Yeah,
and like that's not where it ends at all. That's actually like the setup.
Yeah,
more or less
for the big climax.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's speak about the pacing a little bit because we mentioned this before we went on, but 70s, early 70s even. So very strange and slow pacing, but at the time probably felt pretty fast. But you know what it is? If I had to hypothesize what it is about the pacing and the shots that make it seem like it's twice as long as it actually is, they did so many shots of things that really aren't necessary that a lot of movies get rid of now, where it's just a shot of the bus driving.
Yeah,
or
the establishing shots were a little too long, a lot longer than they are now. Yeah,
and they're just so. At the time, I can understand why they felt like it was necessary because you think that you need to make a story play out. Well, and I
feel like movies now tend to be more overwritten than they were back then, where this is almost underwritten,
right?
Like, not to the point where it's bad. It doesn't need anything else,
right? But there's also not a lot, written to go off of, right? Like that's what you're saying.
But I was gonna say,
no, don't say the thing you were gonna say.
No, before we get too far off of the killer,
yes,
you know him from DSN.
He's in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, Garak.
See, I never watched this.
Oh, you didn't?
Nine.
Okay, well, that's where you would have known it.
Hard to get into. Clint tells me, shout-outs to Nara Pell, Clean Tones, stream it everywhere. He keeps telling me, I know it's slow, you got to get into it, but once you get into it, it's great.
Good. Yeah,
but,
it's not. It's not TNG.
I don't have the time.
It's not TNG.
And then I try to get into Voyager, and honestly, I'm watching the OG because it's on Netflix. But anyway, this is beyond. This is not what we're talking about.
So, anyway, yeah. So, like there's a lot of establishing shots and that don't necessarily need to be there or as long. I feel,
yes,
and
absolutely.
I think that's part of.
There are so many, especially in the chase scenes when they're chasing back. There are so many shots of, and then the bad guy runs across this room.
Yeah,
and then you see Clint Eastwood run across the same room.
Yeah,
and they do that like 10 times. It's like, okay, they're chasing each other.
To bring it back to
somebody.
To bring it back to Death Wish.
Yeah,
they did that a lot in that too.
Yes, absolutely,
100%. And in fact, this movie is a better Death Wish. The only thing that Death Wish does better than Dirty Harry is Dirty Harry doesn't get as involved in New Mexico real estate development enough. Like I think that's really what's missing from this movie is like the 20-25 minutes of just discussing how to make a real estate development in New Mexico.
And not just talking about it, but you also have to have the models of the building of it too. And then never go back to it and never talk about it again. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
And I think, but to answer your question or to expand on it, if not, I think that film audiences, now, I mean, this movie is 49 years old, so film audiences have, I don't know if it's matured is the right way, but like everyone is more used to film now. Like, so we understand more, a lot more is forgiven. When you don't see something specifically on screen, your brain allows you to fill in that gap. Yeah. Which is what they didn't know, especially in early film. It was like, you got to show the guy get out of the car. You got to show him go to bed, set an alarm after he brushes his teeth. Then we got to show go get dark. Then we got to show the sunrise.
Got to show him read a couple pages of his favorite murder mystery novel before
we don't have to see every moment. We get that time has passed.
Right. You have to show 5 minutes of him brushing his teeth.
Yeah. So there is a lot of that.
And then maybe you'll hear his wife say, Bill, in the background while at the 3rd minute and 37 of him brushing his teeth. Then the movie can move forward. Like it's like that kind of shit.
Yeah. So and that's what you run into a lot with these older films is pacing because of that.
Yeah.
So
fuck this movie. Basically, is what we're saying. It's
I mean, it's
a piece
still
of crap.
it's good.
No, I'm kidding. It's great. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, Scorpio, that guy is fucking great.
Oh, he's so good. And
he did a lot of like improvising on like the taunting shit. So for instance, he was at when they're at the that big cross, the big and he tells him to throw the gun away.
Yeah.
Or he's like, or he tells him to pull it out, and he goes, "My, that's a big one." Like that was improvised, and the crew all like laughed real hard.
Ass off.
So they had to redo it because it was so creepy.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not expecting it, it can be kind of funny.
No, that makes sense. There was a lot of to go back to lines like that, one-liners, especially from fucking Clint Eastwood. There was a that line when he's in the football field again, and that the security guy or the groundskeeper or whatever of the football field shows up, and he's like, "You need any help?" And he's like, "Get out of here, fatso." Coldest diss ever, dude. And the way he's so flippant.
Yeah.
Just, dude, how do you make someone like they are completely not wanted and 100% not needed? Just fucking hit him with a "get out of here, fatso." You know what I mean?
Get out of here, fatso.
Yeah. And the guy didn't even do anything to him. He's just trying to help.
He's not even hardly looking at him. He's like getting past him as he says
He's
it.
just trying to help, you know, and he hits him with a "get out of here, fatso."
I mean, the guy was in the way.
Fucking funny. And then the fucking line where after Scorpio gets himself beat up to set up Harry and make it seem like he hit him, and they're talking about it, and the chief's like, "Hey, did you do it, Harry?" He's like, "You know I didn't do it." "Oh yeah, why is that?" "He looks too damn good."
Just like, fuck you.
Dude, the nuts, man. Just fucking hilarious, fool.
And it's one of those things, he's not a man of many words, but the words he says are fucking on.
Fucking hit. And then I would like to address, before we move on, and I think I'll be done, I'll have said everything I really need to, is that Dirty Harry is kind of a psycho and kind of in the wrong a lot in this movie.
It depends on, well, go ahead and explain.
He was wrong to shoot the guy in the leg. He had, no right to shoot. As a cop, had the right to shoot a citizen in the leg, regardless of what he's being accused of, right?
Yeah.
He does terrible police work. Those lawyers and shit and the DA lay it out for him, and he fucking is not having it. He's like, "Are you kidding me?"
That sucks. Because
you can't do that,
it's
dude.
victims' rights over suspect rights.
Right.
It's like, it's all about justice and not protecting the justice of the criminal. Mm-hmm. And in his mind, because he was right, this guy was the criminal.
Right.
And the only reason Harry didn't fucking kill him when they were chasing him down is because he didn't know where he had kidnapped that woman, and they were hoping that she was alive, which it turns out she was super dead.
Right. And totally naked.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, because he raped her.
Of course. Well, yeah, but also because 70s and you got.
Well, they actually filmed. I like how it came out. I like that he was like watching it from a distance and wasn't part of the pulling it out. And everything.
Nice.
But they did do some close-up shots of that scene. But it was fucking freezing. Like they had to do it early in the morning to get the light right, and that was a real woman. And it was fucking freezing, and she's dead, but she was like just shivering. So from like all the close-up shots were unusable.
Of her moving,
because she was just like shaking, the poor woman. But
that's funny.
Yeah, no. So I mean, that's where you really get into the moral ambiguity of this movie. Is he right or is he wrong?
See, that's the thing, though. Is that like I feel like there was a time in movie writing where,
this movie was controversial in the day. Like there were other people lined up to play. Oops, sorry. There were other people lined up to play it. Like even we just talked about Easy Rider.
Jack Nicholson.
No, Fonda. Was going to play Harry, but he's like, "I don't want to do it. It's too right wing."
Right.
This whole he's a right wing character. Right. Like justice.
Right. And it makes sense that Eastwood would do it.
Yeah, that's what Fonda said. He goes, "Talk to my buddy Eastwood. He'll love it." And he'll do great, and he does, So,
how the hell do you think Peter Fonda and Clint Eastwood got along
Because
just hanging out.
because
two completely
they're great,
opposite people.
because they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
You could get along with people.
Do you think Eastwood was doing peyote with Fonda in the desert and shit
I
like
bet.
that?
Either that or like,
dude.
I mean,
To be a fly on the wall for that shit,
you could be friends with people who don't agree with you on politics. It's very possible.
What?
Yeah, it's a thing. But,
dude, you all right? You know what? You're being a fucking fascist, is what you're being. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are fucking brainwashed.
Probably
Okay, by the
racist too,
right
yeah.
wing. Anyway, let's talk about Trump for the rest of the episode. No.
All right. The original title to this
wait. But I don't know. Okay, I get that. But but see that's the thing about I was gonna say is that I feel like there was a time in movies where this movie is certainly and definitely written from the perspective of this is the good guy. You as the viewer agree and root for the good guy.
Yeah.
But what the good guy was doing was horrible, illegal things and not being a good cop.
Yeah, but should they be illegal if it's right? See,
Yes,
that's the thing.
they
In this
should.
case,
like-
no. It's fine.
I mean-
But then again, I'm a guy who's like,
here's the thing.
kill the bad guys.
We know that it's the bad guy because it's a movie and the movie has shown us.
Well, yeah, it's not a
But
documentary.
In
It is
real
telling a story.
life, that's terrible. What he's doing as a cop, that's terrible.
Well, I mean, the guy
That's
specifically
guilty
told
until
him.
proven innocent, which is not how that's supposed to work.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can be guilty until proven innocent, and any cop could shoot a guy in the head and be like, "I'm pretty sure he's that killer." You know what I mean? So you can't that's
Yeah, there's
psycho.
again,
it's fucking psycho.
Yeah, it's gray area.
But that's how movies were back then. There was a long period of time where movies were kind of like that, where when you really think about it, the protagonist is doing highly questionable things.
I mean,
but you're rooting. It still happens.
Yeah,
but you're rooting for it because they're the protagonist.
And
that's the way
again, it's
portrayed and shit.
in the situation. It is not like gray area. In fact, I feel like it's more pointed out in films and stuff now. Like fucking 24. Jack Bauer's always doing shit that's
haven't seen that one.
questionable.
Right,
legality, but it's a split-second decision that you have to make.
Right.
So
And I'm not complaining about it. It's just an observation.
Yeah, and that's his
that's
whole,
interesting how
and that's why
movies are
that's why he
sometimes.
quits the force at the end.
That was a cool shot, man.
Yeah.
Him throwing the star out there.
I mean, that's the whole idea. Is that he's not above the law, but he
thinks he is.
He's
Like
the
a
law
fucking
unto
psycho.
himself. He's the law unto himself. It's all about righting wrongs and preventing more of them.
I prefer to say lefting wrongs, but we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Come on, Chaz.
All right. Well, that's all I got to say. But we're a little over an hour in, so let's get to some numbers.
Okay.
Let's get to some
Estimated. Oh, do you have a thing for numbers yet?
ratings.
You didn't make any new things this week, did you?
No.
Okay.
I failed you.
So, budget. First of all, the original title. I just wanted to say this.
Wait. I do have a thing for numbers.
Oh.
Give me numbers. Give me those numbers, girl. Give me your number. Give me that number, girl. Yeah.
Excellent. The original title to this movie was Dead Right.
Wow. So
That
there
kind of
you
goes
go.
right with what you're saying.
Yeah. I prefer to say live left.
And the budget was an estimated $4 million smackers.
That's big back then.
$4 million. Yeah. I
Wow.
mean,
Okay. So then
that's a. I mean,
You want me to guess
that's
on
a
opening
nothing
weekend?
budget now. You're right, but
back then it was a lot.
yeah,
Now
So
it's an indie movie, but
yeah.
okay. So you want to guess opening
world.
weekend?
Yeah, I don't have opening weekend. I just have the gross.
The
And
worldwide gross?
It's the same as the U.S. So that's all I got is the.
Oh
is the
wow,
gross.
interesting. Total 4 million. I'm gonna say it made its money back.
It did.
I'm gonna say.
I mean, it had to have. There's 4 more. They
Right.
don't make sequels to something that. You know what? That didn't work that time. Let's make another one of
movie
it.
credited for starting the summer blockbuster?
No.
No. I'm gonna say it did a cool 24 million total?
No, it did better than that, but that's not a bad.
That's a hit.
Yeah, it was 35 million, almost 36, 35, 976.
A lot of money back.
Yeah, and that's why they made 5 of them.
5 of them.
They would have made more, but Eastwood said, "I'm done," because he was 58 in 88 when they made the last one. He goes, "Any more? If I got any older and did this, it would just be a parody of itself."
Of course.
So
which probably already was getting there.
Yeah, but okay, let's get to the. I got
rating?
some thoughts on the reboot recast too. So yeah, let's get to the rating.
Oh wait, no. Well, oh yeah, okay. So we got to do the rating.
The rating,
which is out of 10. Binoculars. Or
out of 10 titties in windows.
Out of 10, yeah. Out of 10. You know what? How about this? Out of 10. Out of 10 San Franciscan skies, I give it.
Out of 10 random homosexuals he runs into in the park.
That's right. Out of 10 San Franciscan skies, I give it 7. 7
right,
San Franciscan
7.
skies. It does all right.
Yeah, so worth it
right.
or worst shit?
I'm gonna give this one a worth it.
Awesome.
God, I would recommend anyone see it if they want to broaden it. You know, it's one of those
Sounds like
ones
your
that just
mic went quiet.
You hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
No. Yeah, it's one of those ones. I would suggest it.
All right. Well, then let's get
What about you?
What? Oh, yeah, worth it, 100%.
That's too worth it.
Yeah, I think it's a great movie. You know, it's not. You know, as my wife would say, it's a boy movie.
A little bit.
Yeah, it was not for her, but that's not saying girls can enjoy it. But
sure.
If they're into that kind of thing, but yeah, my wife's like, that's a boy movie, so she was not interested.
Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah,
it's sexist, but okay.
She said it. It's not sexist if she said it.
It's a little bit sexist.
She don't care.
I'm just playing. Okay, tight. Well, what is next?
Well,
oh yeah,
the.
Oh wait, oh yeah.
Oh, you got one.
So we're gonna move on.
We're gonna move on to the
Reboot Recast.
All right. So this is interesting because I feel like Clint Eastwood is an older, grizzled cop, that's seen the wrong side of things.
Okay.
And feels like he's 45, 50, but he's like 30, 35.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, he was born in 1940, I want to say. So he was...
That's the year John Lennon was born.
He was born in 1930, so he was 41.
He was born in 1930?
Yeah.
Whoa, he's fucking old.
Yeah.
Dude, he's 90. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
And putting out movies at 88 or whatever?
Not as much, but yeah. And I think he's done acting. He's just been...
Dude, remember when he did that scene where he had 2 chicks in that newest in the fucking Mule movie?
Yeah.
2 chicks, an 88-year-old man. And he wrote the shit and stuff. Like, come on, dude.
Yep. That's Clint Eastwood.
That's embarrassing.
But yeah, so 1930, so in 1971, he was 41. So he was a little bit older. So that's what we're trying to... But he looks
like he's 69.
I know. My thought is also somebody who's actually much older than that, but doesn't seem it. And I'm not married to it, but I kind of like it. So
are you going to say The Rock, you son of a bitch?
No, I'm not going to say The Rock. That is very not
played out.
Yeah. I feel like this should still be, maybe a little grittier, or this is pretty gritty in and of itself. But, I don't think it should be anything. Not that The Rock is always goofy, but it feels a little goofy. He just doesn't look like a real person. You know what I mean? I don't see any cop ever be like The Rock. It would never play an actual cop.
Right.
No actual cop would look like that, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but I was trying to think of somebody really tall, and I couldn't really get there, but I found somebody who I felt could embody the character, but he's like 55, so I don't know.
I feel like you're setting me up for a bit.
No.
Okay.
I was wondering if you wanted to go first or you want me to do it.
You go for it.
Keanu Reeves.
Can he do it? Can he pull off the seriousness of the...
Have you seen John Wick?
Well,
it would be like that, but without the
as much
gun kata. Yeah. It would be more...
That is not bad, man. That's actually really good.
I mean, the guy is all pathos when he doesn't talk. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, and he can be a man of few words and is probably better off as a man of few words.
He's got a good squint.
And he's got a great squint. And
you gotta have the squint.
Not the same imposing nature of Clint Eastwood, but I feel like it could work.
And he can do the quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I like it.
I know, exactly.
Man, that's good.
I was having a hard time coming up with something else.
That's
because you think about everybody else that's in their late 30s, early 40s, and it's all Chris Hemsworth.
Right.
That's not right.
Not really.
Chris Evans isn't right. It's just. And I don't know why, but that's all that's really popping up in my head. I keep thinking Marvel people, and I'm trying not to, but that's all the guys who are that age are in Marvel.
Wait, what about his son?
He's not good enough.
Scott. You don't think he's an actor though?
But he's not very good.
Have you seen him in anything?
Yeah, he's just not very good.
Judge not lest ye be judged, Chaz.
I'm great.
Okay, fine, fair. So you don't think he's that good? You don't, but he looks just like his dad.
He looks very similar. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Could be good.
No, I'm not.
Could be good.
I think Keanu Reeves is a much better choice. But again, you got the age. Right. But people are different.
What about...
Also, people aren't retiring. Cops aren't retiring at 58, I don't think.
What about a little bit of... It's not really a curveball, but it kind of is, and it could really help boost this person's career.
Okay.
Or maybe help him get out of a slump. Not that he's in a slump or whatever. I'm sure he's doing fine. I don't watch things, so I haven't seen him in very many things recently, so I don't know. But here... I'm just saying he could be the starring role in a fucking blockbuster, and that would help anybody, right?
Yeah.
Josh Duhamel.
What? Josh
Duhamel.
Duhamel? Josh Duhamel?
Duhamel.
You mean Josh Duhamel? Yeah,
is that how you pronounce his name? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Oh, so him.
Duhamel. Josh Duhamel. Yeah, I know. I actually thought about that.
I think he's
for a
good
minute.
too. I mean, he's good.
He's not bad. He just hasn't ever really clicked.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. And I was thinking, but I was also like, I don't know. I don't quite know. If you watch Holy Moly, he's
in that.
No, but he was on an episode. He was in the crowd supporting another player, and. Not Ken Marino, Rob Riggle, like fucking freaked out about Josh Duhamel's here. Really? Josh Duhamel's here. Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. That show is so fucking funny. You should definitely watch it. Right, but no, I don't hate it. I don't know if it's quite right. I don't.
I said it's a little bit of an outside.
I would have to see it to know if it was right.
Do a screen
where
test.
I could feel like,
sorry, Josh Duhamel, we're going to make you come in and read for it.
I mean, I would have to hear it because
we're not going to offer
it
to you.
Know
you have
if
to
he's
read
got
for it. Okay,
I don't know if he's got that gravitas.
Is he offer only?
Definitely not.
Damn, you just said that shit without even thinking about it. Here's my other one, which you're not going to like, but if it's not going to be him, then
I don't hate Josh Duhamel. I like I said, I thought about it too, but then I was like, Keanu Reeves has done it as well.
I mean, Keanu Reeves is better. I almost feel like, I don't think Duhamel tops Reeves, so we'll just go
other than age.
We'll just go with that. Okay. And then, do you want to do Chico, or is that good? I mean, we're at an hour 20. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's good.
Give us your thoughts.
When I was watching it, I came up with somebody to play the killer, and it was so good, and I forgot about it.
Oh, the killer!
I forgot who I wanted.
Was it Shia LaBeouf?
It was definitely not
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
No,
But that'd be pretty good. I'll go with that.
Maybe. I
can see him kind of doing it.
Yeah,
I would like to see him I would like to see him do it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, it would be
stretch his wings a little bit.
God, I can't remember who it was, but I was so proud of myself, and then I forgot. No. I'm not going to remember. Anyway, yeah, and I know one that I had thought of before I thought of the one that was better than it was Michael Shannon, but I feel like I just use him every time that we need like
you love
creepy...
using the Shannon.
Yeah, because he's fucking great.
He's great.
He's fucking great.
Look, he's great. I'm not going to lie. He's great.
He's great.
Okay.
One of the best.
He's great.
You want a creepy guy, you get him. Lie. It's all great.
I love Michael Shannon. He's great. He's a great
play
guy,
my tiny
great
recorder.
Actor, great
tiny
actor.
accordion.
He plays.
That's how you do it. Every time. Best.
So that was Donald Schwarzenegger, and then I was, Bryce Perkins doing Donald Trump.
You're going to play the tiny accordion.
We got tiny accordions, okay? My friends tell me I'm the greatest accordion player that they've ever seen, okay? They say to me all the time, they say, you are...
I don't yell when I do that impression.
That is true.
Yeah.
Maybe Donald Trump could play the killer.
No,
he
too
was
old.
in
too
Home
old.
Alone too.
Too old.
Okay. He'll never work in this town again, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I'm sure he's bummed.
And then for Chico, I'm going to go with
Miguel Sanchez.
Sure. I'm down with that. Shout outs to Miguel. All right, that's tight.
All right. Well, that wraps it up here. And
good week.
For our plugs, check back to the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. Well, and also, like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and share, baby. Hit that button right there. Ding, ding. And then, find us on Facebook and Instagram. Holler at your boys.
Yeah.
H-Time for life.
So, I guess that wraps it up. So, all we have left to say is... Nom in space.
Nom in space.